Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ay, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ay, with Shizzy and Yagob, it's Ordinal revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We are live for another Ordinal hour, but it's not just another normal Ordinal hour, guys. We have a very special guest, a great friend of ours. We got I.M.S.O Chris from Bitmap Valley. He's doing so many things, guys. We were just talking to him. So bullish on him, so bullish on his ecosystem, and so bullish on a lot of things that we're about to hear tonight, guys. It's going to be a really, really fun show. A little later than normal. We usually go live on Thursdays, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties yesterday. But we're going to give you guys an amazing show today on this Friday night. So without further ado, let me bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagob. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Good Friday, relaxing. Ready to do this live?
Yeah, man. We got everything running, man. We're actually gonna get into all that stuff because it's freaking insane. But let's bring in the man of the hour here. Let's bring in I.M.S.O Chris from Bitmat Valley.
Get it going. Dude, I'm like a walking billboard for this shit. From the tattoo, which I gotta get this motherfucker touched up. It was a couple years ago, my birthday, I got it. I was thinking, I think I'm gonna have him fill in God damn it, the camera. I'm gonna have him fill the Bitcoin in with black and then replace the purple with orange, and we're just gonna run it. So pretty excited. Gonna do that literally on April 10th, my birthday this year.
Oh shit. That'll be a nice birthday gift.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So do we just tell them what we just found out? I mean,
let's get it.
I don't really know how to open the show other than say, hey, there are people at East Denver DMing all of us. OKEx and Unisat just made a partnership. Your BRC20s are about to fucking run. Go look at Sats and Ordi. Prepare for the trickle-down effect. Like, I don't know what else to say. That's wild. OKEx and Unisat official partnership live in East Denver right now. Incredible.
Guys, I don't think you realize how big this is. OKEx and Unisat are the biggest providers of any type of marketplace for BRC20s right now. Absolutely outstanding. This is groundbreaking, right, Yago?
Yeah. I mean, how does this work though, right? Because like OKEx was, just knocking it out of the park. Obviously, with the Asia and the Chinese market, Unisat controlled most of the Western market until really like maybe like a month ago. It slowed down a lot. So what do they do here? Do they just consolidate into one? Like, what are your all's thoughts? What do you think, Shizzy?
I think Unisat dropped its fees now. They had some of the highest fees in BRC20s, and OKEx had some of the free. So I think basically
some of the free.
Well, Unisat's going to start being free. I think that they're going to follow that model and probably use that platform, right? They'll probably still use Unisat's front end, but they'll probably end up using OKEx's back end.
Yeah. Do you think this has also to do with Unisat was building the modular?
This is you can't win, you can't beat them, join them. OKEx is taken over. They took over all the volume. There's barely any volume on Unisat. We check it every single week. It goes lower and lower and lower. This is a can't beat them, join them. We're gonna die without them type of moves, in my opinion.
You know what I think? Can I tell you what I think?
Yeah. What do you think?
What I think is that the biggest pushback for centralized exchanges using BRC20s is it doesn't actually do anything on chain, or it's too separated. So it's very hard to pull tokens on and off. And it's impossible to do it in a decentralized manner unless you use Unisat. So if OKEx and Unisat come together, then not only can they offer the CEX, but they could probably strengthen the proposition of a DEX. And now you would have liquidity able to flow to and from in a more pseudo-anonymous way. I think it's going to be Unisat's back end with OKEx's front end. That's what I think. I think this is probably one of the most significant things that has happened in this space so far for tokens.
Now, why Unisat's back end instead of OKEx's back end?
Because OKEx
back end is phenomenal, no?
Their backend is just a database, dude. All they're doing is having wallets and receiving inscriptions, and that's how you deposited your tokens. And now everything that you trade is just data on a spreadsheet, essentially, right? It's just paper trading because you're not actually exchanging BRC20s. You don't really ever have ownership of anything you buy or sell on a CEX, right? So, and that's okay for some people, but other people, it's not. And also, OKEx has a hard time penetrating other markets, such as the US.
And
Unisat
Unisat is the global
doesn't.
leader. Yeah.
And one other thing too, I think those are really good
Fucking
points.
insane, dude.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the swap that Unisat was building, one of their major issues and the reason why they didn't just open it up is because of liquidity issues too. OKEx can possibly help with that, right? Like
That's
because
what
they
I
have
think. I literally think that. I think OKEx makes that. That's what I mean. The CEX makes the DEX possible because of the infrastructure that is built there, and you add more validity and an additional option to accrue liquidity from people who cannot use the OKEx exchange or are not comfortable with KYC. Unis, dude, OKEx just solved the only problem they have. The only users they can't acquire basically have to go to Unisat. And Unisat really needs to produce a DEX.
Yeah.
Well,
So
shit.
I think it's more of that than the other because OKEx actually did have a separate platform to where you didn't have to KYC and it was only for BRC20s. It was actually set up like the squares, just like Unisat. But the point that you made about, it's more, to me, it's more about liquidity power, right? Like, and being able to provide that. And being able to make the API or the OPI and the people behind that comfortable for Unisat to release the white module because now they have liquidity from OKEx. Now they can actually be like, okay, here's freaking $100 million to provide liquidity to start it or whatever, they decide to do. But obviously this is a huge, strategy decision. And I don't know. Do you feel like this kind of puts Unisat back in the front?
No, this is fucked up because what's going to end up happening here? Let me just go to coinmarketcap.com real quick because I need to see how many tokens till you get to like a $5 million market cap, like how, or 5 billion. Sorry. Let me just scroll real quick because I do have an interesting thought here. Okay. So it's down to about number 22. So Ethereum Classic is 4.6 billion, DAI is 5.3 billion, and then you got ICP at number 20 at 6 billion. So you've got, okay. So here's what probably happens. If this executes the way that we think, now this is the only thing we can speculate. We don't know for sure, but you remember how Unisat was going to use the SATS token in some capacity, right? Are we about to see SATS BRC20 break into the top 20 on CoinMarketCap? Because these token SATS and Ordi have both seen $1 billion nearly. Or higher in market cap. I think they both hit right around 1 billion. If we look at
20, that's a 20x from here.
No, not well. I don't know what the current. I don't know what the current market cap is of Sats. Do either one of you know?
It's like 960 million.
No, I checked it this morning. I check it every morning. It was 1.15 billion.
Okay, so 4x from here would be 6 billion market cap, and that'd put it where ICP is, right? So thinking about that, it's like, okay, that doesn't sound that appealing compared to the gains that people received from minting it or whatever. But remember, on places like MEXC, you can actually leverage trade it, just like you can Ordi. So a 400% gain with leverage, you can get your 20x. You know what I'm saying? Well, just think about it. A 4x at 5x leverage, 5x leverage, a 20% pullback, right?
Yeah.
It's so like even with 5x leverage, you can get a 20x right now. Potentially.
I don't play
That's
with
fucking
leverage,
crazy, dude. Well, no, I'm not suggesting anyone does. I'm just saying that may not be for you, but it is for some people, including these market makers, right?
Yeah.
So now you've got market makers that have an incentivized model to be able to take advantage of all these other major exchange liquidities, such as MEXC and the longs and shorts positions, and they can actually say like, okay, let's fucking stack our longs and let's go buy this shit up on OKEx before this partnership executes and you start getting, and before this DEX executes, dude, I guarantee guarantee you this is all around that DEX concept. This is going to be fucking awesome, dude.
I agree with you. I think a lot of it has to do with that because right now there's these
God
other.
damn, do I just bring back EVLV and just say fuck a tap token? No, I'm kidding. We're not burning it. We're not burning it. Oh my God.
Burn it to the ground.
No. I actually forgot. I didn't put the note and we won't go into it now, but please remind me. I do have an update for EVLV holders.
Ooh.
Nice.
I forgot.
But one point that I want to bring up is that like you have competitors that were like encroaching on Unisat recently. You had Omnisat, you had Swap, and all these things. And so maybe like Lorenzo from Unisat was like, "Hey man, like this is the thing that we need to really get ahead of these guys." And it's that liquidity backing and all that stuff. So I think you could be right, man. We could see something released here in the next month or something. It might be ready. They're just nervous. You know?
Oh, I bet it's ready. It's just liquidity and logistics. So they got to finalize the partnership, figure out the red tape, and then probably involve some sister company. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's going to be a middleman between Unisat and OKEx because that's the only way this shit works. I'm excited. I can't believe we got this alpha. Like, everyone, you need to understand, we all got this alpha while we were waiting for the live stream to start. Like 5 minutes before the show started, I got the DM. Now, am I in the cabal? Who knows?
All right. So real quick before we get into some good stuff, I just want to do a thing we do every week called roll call, just to show love to the people that are here. So we got Mr. Sheedy in the building. We got DJ Blackwell. We got someone somewhere. And we got the middle of the night for him. We got Joe, Mr. Black again, Sandrew, Amazon Lope. Who else we got here? Michael Black again, Joe LK. I think I'm repeating here. We got E-Buck in the building. We got new player. Oh, Solana Chris is here. Holy crap. Shout out Solana Chris. And we got Green Man. Who else? We got Nate, Joe, TKO. Who else? If I miss you, I'll get to you guys later. Matthew, Paul. Who's in the building? And we got our man Stevers. There you go, guys. And we'll get you guys, if we get more of you guys later. Keep putting the comments there.
Ooh, Metazogi. Like. Shout out Nate. Shout out Metazogi and Green Man. Those are all I.M.S.O fam right there. That's what's up.
Are they? Shout out those guys, man. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. But let's get into it, Chris, man. What do you got cooking, brother?
We have the Ordinal dropping, and basically part of why we also wanted to be on here today was to let everyone know in the chat and whoever watches the recording of this video, you have 24 hours to hop in Discord. If you join our Discord and you hashtag Revolution, all you have to do, hashtag Revolution, and then drop a Taproot address under hashtag Revolution. We're going to scrape Discord for every address. And then what we're going to do is announce how many whitelist spots are available after we allow the NFT holders on the Solana side to claim the, whatever. It's not going to be a lot, but they do have to, they're the last phase, right? Yeah. Now, there will be a pool of addresses. There may be more whitelist addresses recorded than there are whitelist spots. So then what we will do is, based on the communities they came from and order received and a couple other variants, we will be randomly, like a computer will do it, but we're going to put in some prereqs, select addresses. And on mint day, you will show up and your address will either be whitelisted or it won't. Now, after an hour of minting, we're going to see how many of the whitelists that have been selected actually have committed, and we will start removing them and adding new ones. So it's going to be a fun day. It's just come into Discord, hashtag Revolution, drop your Taproot address, and then cross your fingers. But these are my good friends, so I will
go.
I will know if you put hashtag Revolution where you came from, motherfuckers. That's very important. But basically with those ordinals, they're going to offer, you guys already kind of know some of the alpha. I don't want to dig into it too deeply here, right? Because I don't want to spoil any surprises.
Yeah.
But we do have the BRC20. Let me explain how we're handling that. As you guys know, it was just something I deployed when SoFi bot ran out of money. Some Asian whales kind of got involved inadvertently, and they just ran that shit to a $10 million market cap. I had nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, we minted one inscription of 5,000 tokens with the specific intention of just using it to learn to build payment rails inside of Bitmap Valley, right? So I still own all 5,000 tokens. Like, what the fuck? Even you guys got some, right? But like,
Yep.
it went absolutely apeshit. And we understand that BRC20s and runes are going through this transition period. And originally we had thought we need to collect those EVLVs and burn all of them and exchange them out for the TAP token. But what I have decided to do, and this does not mean anything, guys, it just means that I am staying open-minded. I am going to airdrop TAP tokens to everyone who holds EVLV. 2 EVLV will get you 1 TAP token. Okay?
Wow.
So that's
better
that.
than Benny's airdrop.
And then every single person who mints the ordinal, I'll have your Taproot address. You will also get an airdrop of the TAP token. So we're very excited about that. And then we will be producing 3D models for everyone that you can download and own yourself as well, so that not only can you upload them in our games, but you can upload them in other games, or you could put them on the blockchain on BRC 420 if you want. And anyone who owns 3D assets on BRC 420, you should be able to import those as well. So we're going to open up to all of these protocols. You know, a lot of people think that we've just kind of been taking a specific side because of Bitmap being the primary focus. But, you know, I explained a long time ago in other interviews, game engines allow us to write logic that work like smart contracts. So there's no way that I can't support multiple concepts or find a universal way to integrate more than one protocol inside of our ecosystem. So obviously BRC20 is there. TAP is going to be there, and obviously our token's the one we're going to focus the most on, but we do have 2 partnerships that are coming ahead, and support for the only other TAP tokens any of you know about will be supported ultimately. I'll just say that right now. So there's a lot of stuff that we're doing in behind closed doors. You know, a long time ago we came out with the not a long time ago. God, it's the bull market. It's been a long time, you know, 4 months or whatever. But like a few months back, 4 months, 3 months, whatever it was, we released phase 1 of Bitmat Valley, right? And it was a very cool concept, non-arbitrary metaverse generated from Bitmap data. You guys knew what the plans were. But what I soon realized is that people actually, you know, with the change and the tides and all the fragmentation, all these new protocols and layer 2s, very hard for people to stay focused and pay attention to something that needs time. So instead of continuing to come on and show everybody this little update here, this little concept here, basically drag you along, you know, with our fingers crossed, we decided to reach out to some teams that we had already been approached by. And we started building some stuff with, you know, our team that would cater to a much larger audience and basically use tokens and other collections to offer utility and incentives inside of Bitmat Valley. But all of the economy and monetary rewards would be directed toward the ordinals that are about to mint next week. And of course, the founder districts, which both of you own one already, right?
Yes.
So basically anything I've ever said in previous videos, it has been done. And there are probably 30 things that we weren't even thinking about back then that are being done. We have hundreds of assets for indoor and outdoor customization coming as well to make it more, you know, I guess to make it feel more like your own. Obviously, voice and video chat, but we're also going to integrate live streaming. We've built a mini game for a project that's going to be launching soon. It's a boxing game that will include tokenomics and a little bit of gambling and some PvP and stuff like that. It's well-known person. You guys will really appreciate it. We've also built a jungle environment for a project that all of you know who they are. So it's very exciting. You know, we just took time to make sure that when we open this back up to the public, like in full force, that there's no waiting. We don't want you guys to get bored, right? So if we prepare a shitload of stuff for not just the ordinal, but also the districts, then you guys will have more than enough things and mini games and incentives to occupy yourselves as more gets delivered. So by the time you've basically taken advantage of the current state of the game or the metaverse, it like both games or metaverse, it will be changing again. So we're very excited, and we're just really grateful that everyone gave us the couple months to do it. You know, it's been fucking awesome, dude. It's been really awesome. Public district sales are going live soon as well, where any bitmap and any wallet can be brought to Bitmap Valley and turned into a district.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, I mean, I was telling you this before we jumped on live, that your approach of accepting like all of the protocols that like token protocols that have been established is such a like the right thing to do. Not just like it seems like the metaverse builders have the right mindset, and that's just, and you said that's just how you got to do it. Could you talk a little bit about that, like just having that mindset?
I mean, it's always, if you like look at our link tree where all of our stuff's at for you to find our website and stuff, it's been there for years, and it's always been learn, build, collaborate. That's our theme, before I.M.S.O, when we were just a community of technical analysis nerds and I was teaching people how to be participants instead of victims. It was about learn, build, collaborate. Then it was build relationships and collaborate with other communities to disseminate positive information and help as many people as possible. But now it's become learn, build, and collaborate with projects in the space and grow value for investors and create economies for tokens. And so it's just our ethos, man. But, you've got this person asking me, I mean, on the timeline, are you going to support BRC 420? Are you going to support Doge maps? Are you going to do this? What if Runes wins over Tap? Then I will make a rune token and I will let you exchange 1-to-1. You will just use runes. The fuck? So, in my opinion, this is how we've always approached everything. If you have value and you have liquidity and you can make an even exchange for holders and you can pivot and basically grow and scale with the market, then you're going to be fine. You're going to have staying power. And this is why we focused on technology this whole time. It's only been the last 30 days that we've really put any marketing out there. And we've already created 5,000 new wallet holders for Bonk using just the Endless Runner game in a month, dude. So it's like people are so gassed about the concept of everything that's happening with Bitcoin that supply and demand is going to work in our favor. And a lot of people are like, why only 1,111 ordinals? Well, because we want to onboard new players and incentivize new users with Bitmap Valley public districts and tokens. Don't you want us to also focus their interest toward Bitmap Valley districts and your tokens? It's like, come on, let's play the game. If we have initial investors and we have people that have, basically become these initial holders and liquidity providers for this ecosystem, then we use those assets to onboard new users in a very frictionless way by supporting everything and allowing you to come from anywhere. And then if you would like to go deeper, it's going to directly benefit anyone who's a holder of either A, a founder district, or B, an ordinal. But that doesn't mean that the persons who buy public districts aren't still going to have advantages or qualify for future drops. And then they still have all the same options as you, creating parcels, selling instances, importing objects, building for other players. I mean, there are so many things that we've received for feedback that people want to experience and the way they want to feel that this is not a game. It's like a tool. It's a virtual tool for you to express your data in a different way. It's like, yeah. And I like that. So, the reason we built on Solana was because, like, originally, before Ordinals was even a thing, is like, Bitcoin was the only interoperable blockchain that I knew of. And when I saw Solana, I said, it's not necessarily interoperable, but it's extremely composable. And that composability means that it could operate with other products, probably. And we've learned that that is true, even when it comes down to Bitcoin. So we just always had that mindset, man. It's always been like you can't get very far on your own, right? And I can like talk about this stuff all day, but because I'm the founder, there's always this like reserve from a person who's listening, right? He's the founder, of course. But when you're saying it, right? When you're benefiting, that's when they'll listen. So it doesn't matter how much I benefit or how well I do or how successful I am. No one gives a fuck about that. They care how successful you are, the participant. They care what your bag looks like and how much fun you've had. And if you can convince them you've had fun and been profitable, then they're going to want to try it too. And then inadvertently, through more and more, users comes liquidity or at least attention. And then you can capitalize on that attention by incentivizing those users with something that could be beneficial to them instead of just extractive to them. So then it becomes a quid pro quo. And it's taken a long time. I mean, guys, it's been in 3 months, it'll have been a year, right? It's been 9 months since all of this began with the inscribing of the bitmaps. It was June,
Yeah.
And now, and by July, we had a concept, and by August, we had a prototype, It's like, this is crazy, but it's cooking. I don't want to talk much about Bitmap Valley because I'm afraid I'm going to fuck up and say something I don't want to talk about because there's so much going on. There's an insane, vehicles and other stuff too, right? But I'm just really excited, and I'm super pumped about the ordinals. The thing is, with these ordinals, we're going to be able to do new things that, like we've showed some pretty cool stuff in Bitmat Valley, and we have a ton to offer there. But we haven't really had an opportunity to flex our technical skills with an ordinal asset other than Bitmap. And with Bitmap, it was very specific to what its purpose would be, right? What its use case was. The ordinals can be far more open-ended than that. And I'm incredibly excited to explore all the different things that we can do using a game engine's logic and a wallet address that holds an ordinal. I am
we talked
pumped.
about a couple of things too, like ideas from our side as well. And we can continue that conversation off camera or whatever. But so I know that you just went into a lot. You guys are building a ton. We're all excited, but I know you want to keep it a little bit limited, save the juice for a little bit later on as we get further into this market. But let's talk about this drop one more time before we move on to the next subject. So the drop happens in 2 weeks. You have to go to the Discord.
No. So you guys have 2 days left to get put in the whitelist gamble. Okay. And then obviously I explained that whoever the fuck's tuning in now, you're gonna have to rewind it. Okay. So basically in 2 days that ends. And then we're going to let the Solana NFT holders, which is probably a couple hundred people, not total, but like that own 10 NFTs. So the thing is 10 NFTs is like $1,000 or well, it's more than it. This is $1,200, right? These things are minting for 0.003, right? Or 33. So it's like less than $200 to mint it. So unless you already hold our NFTs, there's no reason for you to just go buy 10 for the mint. Like you could just mint it for less than $200 and get all this shit with it, right? Airdrop, 3D model, and then everything else that comes along with that. But for the people who are on Solana, we want to create more ordinal holders. So if they own 10 I.M.S.O chimps, they are going to get one ordinal. Here's the thing. We only have 4,600 NFTs. So at most, and not every wallet is holding 10 each, right? Even if they were, the most would be 450. And their cost basis was 5 times your cost basis. So you don't have to worry about them. It's not just free to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it actually is valuable to them. So we're very, how many am I guessing actually have 10 or more like that will get claimed? maybe 300. And if that's the case, then we have 411 left for mint. And
Gotcha.
our intention is to do it all through whitelist with no public mint to ensure no botting. Now, if whitelist goes through and there's 20 or 30 left, we'll open up public. Me and my mods will fucking mint them. You know what I mean? Like, we want them too. And then we do have 5 1-of-1s that are in there. A lot of people already know what some of them are. Like, there's a RoboCop and a Terminator, and there's 3 others, right? Icarus is in there, and a couple others. No, I don't want to say that one. So that's my favorite one. The one I don't want to say is my favorite one, and I've never put it as my PFP. The undead that I have on my PFP, I'll have to remove that because that's also 1-of-1. But there's one in there that I really fucking like. As a matter of fact, I might show it to you guys, but I just don't want to talk about it right now. So I'd love to put it as my PFP, but it's the banger. Anyway, if you do get one of those 1-of-1s, 5 out of 11's not a great chance, right? But if you do get one of them, you're actually going to get 25 times the airdrop amount that the normal one gets.
That's crazy.
Because that's like 5 times 25. It makes sense.
That's a lot.
Yeah, awesome. Man, incredible.
Yep. Well, yeah, appreciate that update, man. So guys, just be on the lookout for that. All the details, rewind it if you need to, but that's going to be exciting for sure. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this guy right here. Node Monkey's going nuts over here. Is this something that like you guys expected? Obviously with their mint or their Dutch auction, there was a bad taste in the community, but then like some people were like, you know what? It's about business. That's what Shizzy kind of said, and someone actually quoted you today on that, and they did well.
Crypto Fox,
Crypto Fox. So I mean, this is turning out to be something to where they look like they want to take the lead here, like all through the market.
100%. I mean, these are at 0.18 for like 3 months, right? Between 0.18 and like 0.25 for like 3 months, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these things just did like freaking a 4x, dude. Absolutely insane. And like when we were talking about them, we got them like around 2K, 2,500 on the day they dropped after the auction, because we actually didn't mint. We were going to, and we end up just not doing it, and we end up buying them on the market for like $500 more than the mint price. So that was absolutely amazing. And then to today, but no, to your question, I had freaking no idea this was going to be the collection to blow up. I honestly thought it was going to be the cats, the quantum cats.
So
it's not a bad guess, honestly, dude. Not a bad guess.
Who knows? There's only 333 or 3,333. There's 10K of these fuckers, right? So.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Chris. What was your?
I was just gonna say I would have expected a 10x, right? I mean, from 0.03 to 0.3, I could have seen that happening over an extended period of time. They've 20x, and even at a higher points, like 25x from mint, and what I kind of feel like is a short time, considering, like you said, how stagnant they were. But it's absolutely impressive. The community members are awesome, and it seems like everyone that I see running a Node Monk's cool as fuck. So I think it's well deserved. I feel the same way about the puppets. Puppets did ridiculous, right? But I love them. I love the new ones, the Maxi Biz ones. I love those.
Those are sick,
dude. The art is sick. It's sick. Yeah, you know what I mean. So no, I think it all fits, dude. And we're gonna see Sats go to a $6 billion market cap. I mean, what's Ordi gonna do? $210? I mean, there's only 21 million Ordis. Like, this is about to get absolutely ridiculous.
So that's going to be my next question, Chris, because you have experience.
I fucking love those. They're
dude.
Sick,
dude.
I fucking love those. I'm sorry. I love them. Do you hear me? I fucking love those things. All right, keep going.
I'm
going to put one in Bitmat Valley. Fuck it. If one of you own one, send me your PFP. I want to make one of those in Bitmat Valley. Those things are fucking sick. All right, keep going.
So I was going to say, you have the experience of the past cycles, right? So you saw when Bored Apes floor was like, what, 400K? And then whenever CryptoPunk's floor was really high too.
I remember when Bored Apes were being minted, and I was like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Do you see, like, Node Monk's possibly getting to that, like to that six-figure floors, or do you think that there was so much people that got hurt in the last NFT bear market that the PTSD is going to be so high, or Bitcoin is going to be so crazy that people don't give a shit and they're just going to be throwing money around?
So you're talking 4 Bitcoin for a node monkey or 5 Bitcoin for a node monkey. I wouldn't be surprised to see some in that collection sell there. But I mean, maybe even higher. You could see a 10 Bitcoin sell on a node monkey easily. Because I do think, I don't even know. I mean, obviously, this isn't
Bitcoin
financial
sell.
advice.
Yeah.
Well, they're worth 0.6 Bitcoin right now, and it's only a 10K supply, and a lot of it is locked up with the people, and there's a lot of money on Bitcoin, and there's a lot of shit happening right now with the bull market, and Bitcoin's very expensive. If you think these things couldn't go to 1.8 or 2 Bitcoins each, they absolutely could. And if that were, which is a ridiculous statement for me to make in the first place, okay? But if you were to see this at 1.5 Bitcoin, you mean to tell me the rarest ones couldn't sell for 9 or 10 Bitcoin? A couple of them?
I mean, the Gold King could
Absolutely.
easily sell for 10 Bitcoin. I'm not saying that one, but that's a one of one. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Just a couple of these
Yeah.
banger bangers, 10 Bitcoin plus sell, $500,000, which is more than most Bored Apes ever sold for, right? Even though their price at one point was close to $1 million, let me tell you, more people bought up there than sold up there. You know what I mean? So it's one of these situations where it's like, it's absolutely incredible. First, let's just get that out of the way. Okay. Absolutely incredible what has happened here. And from the current value, 563 Bitcoins. If we do not see this thing capitulate back below like 0.4 soon, yeah, dude, 1.5 Bitcoin for a node monkey, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
The thing is that there's a lot of people that just had that PTSD, and then going through the bear market, like we've gone through like this euphoria since like December, but we still like we're just now getting into like the aggressive part of Bitcoin, right? Like Bitcoin hasn't gotten to its previous all-time high yet. Once that happens, retail starts to pour in, right? So technically, like let's just say like September, when we've been in a good spot for like months and months, then like that's where I think we can see these kind of crazy numbers. But what about you, Shizzy? Like you kind of seem like you might not see the multiple Bitcoin for a floor.
No, so I just don't see it in 2024. I see that being a 2025 thing. I see 2024 is going to be a Bitcoin rampage. I'm in the camp of super cycle. I'm in the camp of 700k Bitcoin. So but in the next 500 days. So that's so for me to see no monkeys at 700k in 500 days, that's going to be really tough. You know what I mean? So that's where I struggle. I see no monkeys going up against the dollar. I see them being worth 300,000, but that's to me that's only a half of Bitcoin in 500 days.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, hold on, at 0.6 BTC and a $700,000 Bitcoin, that is a fucking.
But
that
that's what
is
I'm saying.
Almost $500,000. You know what I mean? That's
but
crazy.
you asked me multiple Bitcoin. You didn't ask me multiple
Yeah. You got it.
So
You got it.
I think it goes up against the dollar, but it goes down against Bitcoin.
Yeah, Chris,
That's
what do you
fair.
think about Shizzy's top number for Bitcoin there? Like 700k, he got that from Plan B, which has been pretty close on his previous 2 cycles, but 700k seems pretty crazy.
I mean, I guess at a certain point, it's probably so illiquid.
We have a fucking ETF right now, guys. Come on, you're not
bullish
enough. You're not bullish enough.
But
Go ahead.
Greed is a curious thing, and when liquidity dries up, even though that makes price go up faster, it also makes price go down faster. And if they're accumulating here, then there will be liquidity zones that they can drive into to create the higher lows over the long period of time. I am absolutely in the camp of Bitcoin to $1 million. But if
look at this, dude. I mean, come on.
If we're in a super cycle and this bull market is like a 18-month affair, okay, instead of like a 9-month affair, like it's double that, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars for Bitcoin does seem reasonable, but if we use just what we know for fact about the market and bots and just the algorithms that make all of these cycles even happen, an extreme target is 192K. But that's good. I mean, that's a fine, that's, and with some wicks and some liquidations and some FOMO, $250,000 is not out of the question. Okay. That's not out of the question. And it's probably sooner than how many days did you say?
I said within the next 500 days.
Probably sooner than 500 days.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, that,
Well, I said
192
700K.
is like, if you know what a 618 is on the Fibonacci scale, it's a golden ratio. Once you break into new zones of price action, you can still do fib extensions, and they start to put like the 1.618 or the 2.618. And in most bull markets for any asset, the 2.618 is such an extreme target that when it is hit, the majority of bots and algorithms, they're going to sell there, because you understand that in a blue sky breakout, you have no reference for resistance. So the only way a bot can assess where to sell an asset in a bull market is by using these basically Fibonacci extensions, but primarily focusing on the golden ratio. So anytime you break, once we break past 69K, your first 1.618, I think, is like 120 something. Okay. And then if you extend that and you go to an extreme target, the 2.618, it's like 192K or something like that. So is it possible that because we have a super cycle that you get to that 2.618, which is 192K, and you come back down dramatically toward that 1.618 and you build confidence in Bitcoin literally between $130,000 to $190,000 over an extended period, and then you get one more massive rally and a blow off top where Bitcoin becomes this globally traded and liquid asset that goes to $500,000? Yeah, I mean, anything is possible, right?
I know you're a chart guy and stuff like that, but the one thing I think you're missing is that our interest rates right now are 5%, right? There's trillions of dollars in bonds right now in an election year, right? What normally happens is the Fed has 5 bullets in its gun that it could shoot off at any time, and as soon as the people think that they're going to shoot off a fucking bullet, you might see trillions of dollars that want to get risk on, right? That are risk off right now. You could see trillions of dollars come from treasury bonds into Bitcoin. And that is why I think
but they wouldn't. But they wouldn't do it in an unorganized or reckless way, because those individuals don't have FOMO, right? FOMO is a disease that retail.
You might get it when Bitcoin is going through a supply shock.
I think you're both. I think you're both right here. I think Chris is 100% right. They're not going to do it in a disorganized way, but I think Shizzy's right is they're organizing like big time to do this. Like they I agree. They're preparing to do this, and I heard, I don't remember where I heard it, but like the banks, they're moving towards the guy from the CEO of Vanguard got let go because he made a shit decision. Because like they realized that they put their clients at risk by not offering that ETF, because now their clients are pissed because they feel like they lost out on a lot of money already.
They did.
They did. And another thing.
They did.
Another thing too is that like people want to call a farce on the buying pressure from the ETFs, but it's not. There's data there that proves that the buying pressure has increased immensely, and obviously like and
none of that's wash traded either. Like that's all legitimate volume, and then once you buy the ETF, it gets bought off spot market. Other than what maybe they have in reserves. But here's the thing. I don't like when people say supply shock, because at the end of the day, that doesn't exist yet. It does not matter
on the open market.
I'm going to explain that to you. So what market makers and global elitists know, hedge fund managers, this, that, and the other, is that when a new asset or commodity enters a market, if you can control 10% of the free float, which is 10% of the supply, you can corner that market. 10% of the Bitcoin supply is 2.1 million Bitcoins. Okay. But there's 18 something million Bitcoins in circulation. So then where are the other 16 million Bitcoins? So well, maybe 4 million of them are lost.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Easy.
where's the other 12 million Bitcoins, right?
ETF float.
In
I mean,
in wallets, right? So what happens here is a company like a Fortress or a Citadel or maybe even BlackRock and a friend or something, they actually do have enough money to buy Bitcoin basically at any price if they're only procuring 10% of the supply, right? Now, if they were to do that in one fell swoop, they would send it to the moon, right? Because there's only 2 million on the exchanges and maybe they already have a couple 100,000. So if they wanted to own 10% of the supply, they would just go buy the rest of those Bitcoins, send it to $1 million and corner that market and just run this game, right? They could do that. However, other market makers are well aware of this. So this is why you only ever listen. You can go back as many years and months as you want. There is always roughly 2 million Bitcoins across the exchanges.
yeah, you're right.
It's intentional. If you had 5 million Bitcoin on all the exchanges, then BlackRock or Citadel or Fortress could buy 2 million of them without sending the price to $1 million,
OGC.
and they
Yeah,
could corner the market. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So there is no supply shock yet. Now, do I think in 2 years there's a supply shock? Yes. Do I think within the next cycle, Bitcoin inadvertently just has to be $1 million asset? Absolutely.
Well, according to
So,
this, next cycle is 10 million.
that seems wild because you have Ethereum also, which has proven itself as a value asset. Like, I don't look at it as a utility layer, and obviously ordinals have made it incredibly, like, I mean, dude, I'd rather obviously build on ordinals, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where, like, but Ethereum has enough liquidity and enough investors and enough market makers and enough like passive income options through staking and shit like that, that if you were a global elitist or one of these massive entities or a government or a different country, it would make sense that instead of just running Bitcoin up, you start to buy ETH too, because it's still kind of a limited supply. Yeah, it's not 21 million, but it's only like 100 something million and it gets burned as it's used and shit. So it's like, it's not that bad, like
Yeah.
for an asset that you expect to grow value over a long period on a planet that has 8 billion people. It kind of makes more sense that you would see Bitcoin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and you would see ETH worth tens of thousands of dollars and you would see maybe assets like Solana worth thousands of dollars and assets like Doge be worth a couple dollars. Now you have incredible wealth from the price of which these entities accumulated these things, but you also have like barriers of entry for different classes of people. People can afford dollars worth of Doge. Some can afford thousands of dollars worth of Solana as they do now for ETH. And then the people that are comfortable affording Bitcoin right now become the people who can afford Ethereum. And then only the richest people, or those of us who were here in the beginning, can now afford Bitcoin. So Bitcoin never becomes the currency or the asset that your grandma really makes money off of. It's probably not the thing that changes the youth's life. Like, it's going to change our life and people who are involved right now, but like my kids' lives are more likely to be changed by Solana or fucking Doge than
Yeah.
Bitcoin, other than
but
my life being changed, you know?
one thing about grandma is grandma's happy with a 12% increase. Grandma's
That's true.
ecstatic with a 12% increase. She's over the moon because grandma's been
And
accumulating
banks
her
can't
whole entire
compete.
life.
And
They
banks
can't.
can't even cannot compete. So then here's an interesting thing where I kind of start to side with you and I start to put on my fucking Moonboy hat. Now these banks are going to have to start investing in Bitcoin so that they've got some kind of revenue generation, because the things like the CDs and the savings accounts and the shit that they're using your checking accounts to gamble for, I mean,
They can just print money, bro.
well,
Whatever they
like,
want.
if they're investing your your accounts, like your money market account, if they're investing that and you're getting a 15% or 5% or whatever their fucking term is every year or whatever annually, because they're using that to play the traditional markets, at some point, don't you think they might invest some of that into Bitcoin, since it seems to outperform the S&P 500 and all these other things over an extended period of time? And then that could actually give them overhead. Bitcoin goes, they get 100% gains or 200% gains on Bitcoin in a short, even just over a couple years, but they're only paying you 2 or 3% or 15, even if they're paying you 15%, that gives them years worth of overhead to pay out those money market accounts as they become more profitable from their businesses. So I do
there's
think
one more thing too. One more catalyst that you're not talking about is nation states. What's stopping Nigeria from printing money and buying Bitcoin?
volatility.
What I mean, they're already going inflation's to the moon in those countries. I mean, the Niagara just,
but then this brings
inflated crazy. What's stopping them from saying fuck it, let's just print it all and just and buy
what's
Bitcoin?
stopping them from just creating their own currency using Ethereum, or what's stopping them from adopting Doge?
It's not hard money. Doge is not hard money.
It's proof of
there's more Doge every single day. There's way more Doge than there's
the amount. Doge has an inflation curve of roughly 3% per year, which is programmed, and that is infinitely better than the inflation curve of the US dollar. So actually,
they would go Bitcoin. Come on, Doge.
Doge is great.
We
and fully decentralized.
Yeah,
I might not be a Doginals guy, but I do believe in the Doge blockchain. You know what I mean?
We shouldn't compare anything to the US dollar, though. I mean, in terms of like the inflationary rate, right? Because they just did such a shit job on that. But hey, I want to check some of these comments here. This guy R shout out to R, TradFi gonna get wrecked. So I disagree with that. I don't think BlackRock's would be
money
selling.
Always wins.
Well, I don't think that BlackRock and Fidelity are going to sell to their high value clients for them to get wrecked in a short period of time. In fact, I think that they're going to put fail safes in place for Bitcoin not to freaking shit the bed, because then them losing their high value clients is going to be so detrimental to them. So
everyone Chris, needs to remember BlackRock can afford to buy every Bitcoin that exists at $40,000. They do have that much money. Matter of fact, they just have infinite money. Anytime they want money, they ask for money, they take money. People will give them money. They'll give them any interest they want, any amount they want. Matter of fact, they'll just give them money for free because now BlackRock owes you a fucking favor. So at the end of the day, BlackRock has infinite access to money. If they want to make sure that the product that they launch and the decision they made is always good for all of eternity, then they never have to let Bitcoin go below $40,000 again, because ultimately, if they do support it in these price zones, then eventually they'll own 10% of the supply and they will become the market makers that can control the entire thing, which Grayscale just couldn't do, especially with the weight from DGC and FTX and all that shit. Grayscale had 3% of the supply at one point, and now so much of that has sold off and just, and really transferred to these ETFs. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the shit that sold off from there transferred to these ETFs. So I just think that that's the one catalyst that I don't know what price it goes to, right? Let's just say that. But because none of us do. None of us are psychics. But if we just go with if we just go with facts, it is a fact that BlackRock has enough money to decide what the bottom price of Bitcoin is for the rest of the time that they are involved. So until the day that they step away from Bitcoin, whatever your high or low is, wherever price stops and bounces for good, they had control over that. And that's all we need to know, because now they have a vested interest and they have a relationship with the government. And, fiat currencies kind of fucking suck. And these guys are managing $10 trillion worth of fiat currency assets. It would be really cool to put some hard money behind that. And then it's magic internet money with a low supply, right? So then what happens? You could have millions of Bitcoin at $1 million each. And now all of a sudden you've got trillion, like you were at one point the global fucking leader just by having $10 trillion of assets under management, and then all of a sudden in 2026 you own $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin, which is 10% of your whole fucking portfolio. That's a possible fact. Like that is a
Yeah.
possible thing that can actually happen.
And one thing too that people need to realize is that all these fucking TradFi companies own percentages of each other. So like if like one of them,
They have each other's stocks and shit. No, this is retarded. This is retarded.
So if one of them like is struggling, the other one's gonna pick them up because it will affect them, negatively. So the TradFi is definitely not going to get wrecked from this. And I actually think TradFi coming into Bitcoin right now is going to change the industry a bit. We're going to start to see like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line. I think that we're going to start to see better products. They're going to use people like us that have the experience, hire people like us that have the experience to help them build out more trustable, solid products in this industry. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Using ordinal theory. Yep, I love it. Real quick, I just want to shout out AOD Art. He said, I have 10 Bitmat Valleys bought for $100 each. Very bullish.
Yeah, some of you early adopters got lucky, boy. It was so Bitcoin was $30,000 or something. I wish we didn't have to build with the money, dude. Same with Solana. Like in like the very late part, like December of whatever day we launched our mint, and later that day there was an announcement that FTX was like that everything was going under, and the mint was live. We were like, oh fuck. So our shit went from being worth $60 in NFT to between 18 to 22. And because we made commitments and people minted, we had to use the money to develop things, you know what I'm saying? And then of course that led to our partnership with Bonk, which was 30 billion Bonk, which we were able to stretch out over some time, right? But like it was just a whole thing, right? And we look back on that, we as founders, we wish we could have held that, 1,000 Solana or 2,000 Solana to these prices, obviously. And same with Bitmat Valley. It's like, the people who got in for $100, congratulations. You're going to get some tokens on tap that are super limited supply and have a fuck ton of utility. And that $100 is going to seem like a dream. You can sell your parcels for $8 each if you want, and you're going to fucking make a killing. You know what I mean? But that was the intention, right? The intention was support us building this great thing, and we'll make the barrier to entry so cheap that if you just bear with us, it will all work out. I mean, you could actually sell your founder districts right now on bitmap.community. You know what I mean?
Love those guys, man. Very bullish.
It's actually the highest. It's between, I think it's you and then Expectar, and I don't know if anybody else, but Bitmap Valley is the highest valued one on there. I went on there and I looked up. It's under. I think it's under like the. What is it? Is it the feature or like some sort of category to where you?
Like you can. You can select like traits for bitmaps, or and then you can look at Bitmap Valley, and we actually can submit that list to Magic Eden too. But for some reason, there's 4 numbers missing. And I don't know who they are or where they're from. And the value had gone up enough that I feel really guilty. Those 4 people, right? I know who they are, but their accounts and shit are banned. So I guess we're just going to give it up. I mean, they're supposed to be
block tributes right there at the bottom. Yeah.
See, they're supposed to be 1,000, and we only have 996.
Damn,
and I really
the floor's 1,000. It's a G, man.
I mean, that's fair.
Let's go. Congratulations, Chris. That's amazing. But
it'll go higher. That's
so amazing. $1,000, dude. What?
I think they're probably worth $5,000, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So I mean, who knows? I mean, if you start building out enough parcels and people get into the Bitmap metaverse, and each of your parcels could actually be worth $50 to $100, now you've got a thing worth. I mean, fuck, dude, tens of thousands of dollars, right? So, and who knows if the token, I mean, just think about the EVLV token. We didn't even promote or support that, and it went to a $10 million market cap. If you're getting a monthly distribution of a token that's 20 cents each, and you're getting how many ever of those a month, I mean, come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, these things are really set to, but it's because we needed all of you. We're dead middle of building for Bonk and Solana, and we've used our resources there, but we have this incredible team and all these abilities. So it was like, okay, let's sell these founder districts and we'll build this cool ass thing, and everything we do will really be geared toward that. But we realized 1,000 founders districts wasn't enough. However, if we were to let there be 2,000 founder districts, that wouldn't work. And we have so much skills when it comes to 3D assets, games, and we know so many artists that I said, fuck it, let's do 1,000 ordinals instead. And let's treat the ordinals like we treat the Bitmap Valley founders. And that's also why that ordinal is, just under $200, because it's basically the same cost as if back in the day you had bought a Bitmap and a founders district, you would have spent about $180. So I did this all intentionally. You've got 1111 ordinals. You've got 1,000 Bitmat Valley founder districts. That gives me 2,111 assets to focus all of my efforts and value prospects toward. And then all of the tokens and assets surrounding those ordinals and Bitmat Valley districts will be what we use to onboard new players. And that's how we drive liquidity. So I'm excited. And they're good pixel art.
We got some breaking news here. Someone just bought 100,000 EVLV.
Well, they're going to get 50,000 evolve. He just bought 2 tokens.
Shout out to bitmap.community too, man. I feel like that's such a good tool. That guy's
Wizop.
Really cool.
Shout out to Wizart. Wizop, whatever the fuck. I forget. It's Wizart or Wizop or whatever. That dude's a king, bro.
I'm bullish on that site. I feel like it's a search engine for Bitmap right now, and it's free of use. And I think delivering these type of tools is going to pay off for him down the road. But hey, this question came up. He said, let's talk about Bitmaps. What is price prediction? Any
$1,300.
$1,300 is your price prediction
per Bitmap. Yep.
Like Pico top, right?
Yeah. Well, no, $1 billion market cap.
Okay, gotcha. So $1 billion. That's pretty smart. Yeah, but I feel like that's a good, fair market cap to shoot for.
Wizop.sats. Just so I went and looked it up just to be sure. Wizop. Everybody needs to go to Wizop.sats on Twitter. You should follow that dude. He is actually a fucking king. Sorry.
All right, so let's see real quick. What's the total circulated supply? Can you go to Magic Eden and see what Bitmap is?
Hold on, we gotta find this Wizop guy. How do you do it? Wizop?
I just look real quick on Bitfeed, see what the latest block is.
All right.
Latest block 832,771. So
okay, so if we do, you said 1,000,
maybe it's 1,200 or something, but still, I think it can break $1 billion. But I'm just, I feel confident it's going to $1 billion. You know what I mean?
So right at $1 billion is $1,205.
See,
so that's that's pretty solid right there. So $1,205. I think that's a fair, estimation there. He asked also any chance of institutions coming for ordinals. Well, there's VCs already here, but I think he means. I don't know if that's what he means, or if he means larger institutions. No, I don't see that happening. The Fidelities and all that crazy. They're not going to dabble with that. Not until way down the line. Way down the line.
I don't know.
Or release their own product. They might release their own product. I don't see anyone who's not chasing clout or partnering with one of these projects coming in and sweeping their floors at a large capacity like that. There's VCs who might do that, not
I see the big guys go after stacks and like layer 2 type of assets on Bitcoin. I do. I really do.
That's not ordinals though.
Yeah, that's not.
It is if you say Merlin, because Merlin's a layer 2, and the MERL token is a BRC20. So technically, Merlin being a layer 2, probably having a higher value than stacks, being the top layer 2, could be very intriguing to people that are already digging into Bitcoin and want to
I just don't see that level of fund manager getting to
it's too hard, I think. And it's too ill, and it's too it's not enough liquidity.
It's too risky for them right now. Now, when
they can just buy Ordi and send it to the fucking moon, they're like, well, I'll just buy Ordi. There's only 21 million of them. They're like, listen to how ridiculous this is, right? So there's only 21 million Bitcoin, right? So if these hedge funds start painting, or these institutions, or OKEx convinces some of these market makers or Chinese whales to start painting the narrative to say, well, look, Ordi's the first BRC20 and there's only 21 million of those. There's no reason that couldn't be worth $1,000 if a Bitcoin's worth 100,000. That just makes sense from like a psychological. I'm not suggesting these are the targets, but like, am I confident as fuck Ordi's going to be breaking $100 soon? I'm very confident in that. So it's, I think, but I do think there are hedge funds and VCs and angels that are still billionaires that would come and have 50 node monks. You know why I think that? Because they had 50 Bored Apes, dude. So it's like the same people that had the CryptoPunks and the Bored Apes. Do I think they come in? But then you're also talking 10,000 supply, right? So, that makes sense for a guy like Machi Big Brother. Or maybe Soul Big Brain, which Soul Big Brain definitely manages $1 billion, right? So like, it makes sense for him to inject $10 million into these assets that also include tokens and have communities and finite supplies, because a couple of those things banging, which are more likely to bang than a meme coin, right? Like if he's done his research, he's met the founder, there's a much higher probability that you can get a 5 or a 10x out of one of these dependable assets with limited supply and solid communities than like the shit show gamble that is some alt or meme coins, right? So I am not opposed to the idea of billionaires buying ordinals, but people with 10 or 20 or $100 billion funds, it seems like they would be better off just market making Bitcoin or Ethereum or something,
Yeah. And like, they're definitely not going to put them on like in their, like the fund managers. Like,
you don't want Justin Bieber to buy a node monk. Ask the Bored Apes. You do not want that.
That's when you sell.
Right?
That's when you sell. if let's just say Taylor Swift comes in and buys a quantum cat, it's time to sell everything that you have. Everything. Just
I don't know. I think Taylor
everything.
Swift might be the only one who could come in and buy anything she wants, and it would send it. I mean, send it.
There has to be like a moment in time, I feel like, where that kind of changes. Like for example, like think about this, right? Like let's say like the huge fund managers are in now. They're going to make these products more solid in the next 5 to 10 years. And then whenever like big players, like big celebrities, big names are in it, they actually will start to try to build actual businesses here instead of just promoting this shit token and taking their bag and then leaving. I feel like, because especially if this is going to be like an actual societal change, right? Does that make sense or no?
I'm up 660% on my Chainlink long from this morning, so I don't even know if I care about any of this. Yagob. No, I'm just kidding. I just had to check it, right? Because I just felt like it might be doing okay.
Let me ask you something. So I got this right here. Ask Shizzy if he's bullish on Natty Light. Are you bullish on Natty Light? Do you care about that crap at all?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love
like the Natty Light stuff.
Oh, I've got.
I think it's the stupidest shit ever. I hate it.
I love block runner guys, and I support things, and I
love them too. I just hate this.
But I don't buy this shit to profit, right? I leverage trade Chainlink, right? So it's like I don't really buy this stuff to profit from it. I buy it to try and add value to it, and I can definitely see with like the holder count and their presence and the volume that has occurred there that it has, like, we should respect the fact that some people believe in it. How about that?
Yeah, 100%.
And look at like the Nat Cats.
Yeah, that's
what are you gonna?
It's Jason Maxibiz. It's Jason Maxibiz.
But what can you say?
It's different than Jason Maxibiz.
It looks the same. It looks.
But what can you do? What can you do? They're worth 0.112 BTC, like $6,000.
Jason Maxibiz was worth $700 at one point. It still went to zero eventually.
But the difference is that Jason Maxibiz's JSON code did not output like actual visual, like
no one's putting this damn code into anything.
Yeah,
people want JPEG.
Magic Eden displays them, I'm pretty sure.
No, Magic Eden doesn't.
It's the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
You have to do it from.
I know there's one website that displays them.
Yeah. So I think it's called. What do you say? I looked this
People
up.
are buying JPEGs without JPEGs.
Well, then wait till Magic Eden displays them, and you're gonna see them go to fucking Puppet puppet prices. You know what I
think
mean?
they're
I
gonna
mean,
go to zero.
if Magic Eden does display,
He's like, no, they're not going anywhere.
if Magic Eden displays the images, they definitely will like do better than they are now. But if they don't, I think like
China number one. China
they won't
doesn't
have
like
their
'em.
momentum. Hold
China
on a
doesn't
second.
buy that shit. I'm bullish on China.
Let's go back to the fundamentals of it. So I actually like non-arbitrary tokens and digital matter theory as a concept. I love it because like you're pulling data from the blocks, right? And then you're using that data to create either a token or and the supply is dependent on the data from that specific category. And so I love that because like I do nerd out about that kind of stuff. Now, it's you definitely have to spend time over there and then figure out like what you want to do and what you want to mint and all that stuff. And I think that Shizzy doesn't like that because it just doesn't grind his gears or whatever. It doesn't get him.
Well, it's unattractive. It's
Yeah.
unattractive. I'll say
Easy,
that.
yeah.
Okay. And it's cumbersome. And so I didn't participate. Right. But when we look at the reaction, it's like, fuck. I mean, I can't argue with it. It's like price kind of tells the story. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like biases go, it's like you can be like, okay, XRP, right? You have emotional bag holders that just believe this prophecy that will never be fulfilled. And that thing is like 60 cents right now when Bitcoin's nearing its all-time high. And the previous all-time high for something like that is $3 and something cents. It'll just never be there again. Now, the same way those people get emotional and irrational about the negativity around XRP and they become, I guess, bag holders and loyal. You see the same thing happen on the flip side with something like fucking node monkeys, right? Or the puppets are the best example of this because those things were worth like
puppets
nothing.
are freaking cool though. They actually look awesome.
They're like South Park. The reason you think
the
reason you think they're cool is because we grew up with South Park. So when we see that, we think this is the best.
Yeah.
This is the best, right? It just makes me think of like Big Gay Al in the boat. You know what I mean? It really does. It just makes me think of that.
Bear.
Dude, yes, that's
here.
Bro.
Peter, he ain't hurt nobody.
That's exactly what it makes me think of. So I absolutely am infatuated with that, right? But other people had to be also, and people are committing a lot of money to that right now, and it's super fucking bullish. So bullish that even the deriv is doing phenomenal, right? So we have to like kind of take a step back and sometimes just know, like, this is the thing I've learned as a founder as well. The stuff that I am necessarily interested in isn't going to be the thing that ticks the box for the most, because when you become an influencer in this space or a leader, like you guys are leaders in this space, right? And I'm a founder in this space. So when you become an entrepreneur in this space, it's probably because you have this mentality that allows you to go against the main, we go against the, what do you call that? The people, like we go against the grain, I guess is a good way to say it. So we're always going against the grain in life, probably have a little bit of anti-authoritarian to you, or at very minimum, you believe in your freedoms and sovereignty. 100%. And you're a very ambitious person who in some instances see what you consider like sheep behavior. And in life, it has always been a service to you to ignore that and follow your own path. And that's how you reached this place where you're aspiring to go higher.
Love that, Chris. I fucking love that, dude.
But most people go with the flock.
Yeah.
And this is where in crypto, we have to remember sometimes the thing that I don't like is probably the thing most people are going to love. And I've learned that in difficult ways.
Yeah. I just don't think it's Natty Ice.
Maybe it's not Nat Cats, but I am just saying that there will be more dumbass shit that we cannot believe is happening, and we have to remember that disbelief is a big part of the psychology here. I didn't realize what time it was because I'm having a fucking blast with you guys, dude. but I do have to actually go and let the dogs in, and I have another call in 15 minutes,
Yep.
and I'm a
Yep.
No
parent as
worries.
well. So,
Yeah.
We
God,
appreciate you
I
being
could
here,
do
buddy.
this
Thank
all
you for
night. I
coming.
could sit here with you guys for 4 hours. We could just go every
We should
single.
do that one
Then we
day.
could run some TA and shit.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
We should plan like a mega, like a
Well,
mega stream where we
we're
just.
we're
Let's do it.
we're going full time really soon. We're going to do daily
Okay.
lives every single day.
Yeah.
So from Monday to Friday. So, and you're welcome to as many of them as you want. We go for hours at that time. Kids will be in school. They'll be
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I love
So,
talking to you guys about this shit. I love your insights, and we all have very similar outlooks and mindsets with just slightly different opinions.
yeah.
And I think it's very helpful to the people who get to hear this content. Like, you've got an analyst who actually works in the market, but then I need to sometimes be put in check by people like you who are very well connected and very experienced in not just the technology, but the sentiment in the communities, because the psychology of this thing actually is incredibly important to its longevity. So even though I know how to, assess probabilities and assess like market behavior, sometimes I need people to remind me of how the psychology is going within like these smaller sectors of people that maybe I'm disconnected to. And we're all going to do better for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're all
100%.
going to do better. So I'm glad we found out about the Unisat and OKEx thing too. And
Yeah,
remember,
man.
guys,
Yeah.
come to Discord, #revolution, drop the address. I.M.S.O NFT.me is the URL. Maybe these guys will put it in somewhere for you. But
Yeah.
I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you so much. Okay.
Likewise.
Do it again soon, buddy.
Brother.
Take
See
it
you
easy, fellas. We'll see you on Mint Day, and I hope some of these guys come to the Discord. You guys got 24 hours. It is 9:45 p.m. Central Standard Time in which I am saying this. So anyone who watches this video after the live stream, you have till 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on 3/2. See ya.
Let's
See you,
go. All right.
Good night,
Peace.
guys.
Good night, buddy. That was fun, dude. I love
Yeah.
I love going back and forth with him. It's fun.
I wanted to get Chris, kind of out of that, into these topics, because I
Yeah.
knew he had like great insight, and his
Yep.
experience from previous cycles, would be perfect for just what to expect, especially like with the ordinal market and stuff like that.
Yep.
But
Yeah, man.
really good insights, man. That was good.
We'll go for a little longer. We got any more to talk about? Did we kill everything?
Yeah, I mean, I had the Nat Cats finally on ME, but we just talked about that.
Yeah.
I guess like the only thing we had left really is just kind of, what's up with Runestone? Have you heard anything new?
No. So gas fees are absolutely insane. Leonidas does not have the funds to drop them at 30, 40. So he's waiting for the prices to go down. I'm hearing his funds are around, to drop them all is going to cost a lot of money, and he needs it to get under 20 to do this drop.
Gotcha.
So I'm thinking it might happen like Sunday morning. That's
Okay.
my guesstimate. I think we'll have runestones by Sunday morning.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see if there's any here's one from eBuck. Asks Shizzy if he's bullish on Ordi maps.
I fucking hate Ordi maps. Ordi maps is just Tendy's little extraction method. He wants to dump on your grandma. He minute every single one of these, and then he's waiting for grandma to buy his bags. Do not buy these. These are trash. These are a big trash can, a big dumpster fire. They will take your money and they will laugh at you. If you want to be laughed at, you want your money stolen, buy Ordi maps.
Yeah. Anything that's not
You
bitmap to
just
me.
said yeah. You're like, yeah.
I agree with you on that. Like, just anything that's not bitmap to me, like I'll give it a look, but
Yeah.
like a quick look, and if it doesn't, get me going, then I just feel like bitmap's the one. But like one thing I will say is that like Chris's estimation on Bitmap's market cap, I feel like it's fair. But like 1,200 and $1 billion market. I feel like 1 billion is like that measure of success. Like you've reached that strong success there. Now I was more confident a little bit earlier in that than I am now. But Bitmap is kind of like BRC20, and to where when people doubt it, that shit comes back with a vengeance. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's wrong. I think we hit a $5 billion market cap with Bitmaps. I think
wow. So you think more?
Yeah, I think what Jeff is doing over there, and China #1. I think China can take anything to a $5 billion market cap if they want to. And I think with with Jeff's like telling us there's 100 different dApps coming. I think 30 to 40 of those dApps are building on bitmaps. I think 30 or 40 of those dApps are building games. And I think every single game that comes online, whether that's Foxy, whether that's Bitmap Valley, whether that's Expectar, they're all building on bitmaps. And I think you're going to see 9 to 15 to maybe 30 more bitmap games coming. And I think bitmaps, being the low supply that they are, 800 something thousand, is going to get ripped apart. And you got to remember, they're going to be on layer 1. They're going to be on stacks eventually. They're going to be on Merlin. They're going to be everywhere. And if you can bridge to Merlin, you're going to eventually be able to bridge to Ethereum and Matic and everywhere else. And I think you're going to see bitmaps just being put everywhere in every single game eventually.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you think?
Well, I think that's like, down the line to see if it
I think
gets
500
back.
days.
Well, no, I'm talking about not necessarily about the market cap.
Oh.
I'm more talking about the interoperability over, like, it makes sense from theory wise, like being able to bridge over to an EVM chain. Then eventually, right, you should be able to, in theory, get over to Ethereum and stuff. But
I mean, it should be no problem because you can go right from, once you get that wrapped map token, now you can take that right to Ethereum because it's an ERC20. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I like this statement right here from Steve Verse. Merlin will show the power of ordinals.
yes.
So, there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of information on how Merlin is working in terms of like with the BTC layer 1 assets, the ordinal assets, the inscription assets, right? But like we mentioned before, it's really the main focus of Merlin, right? Obviously, they're bringing over some other assets from the EVM side, but majority of the focus is like, let's get these freaking Bitcoin layer 1 assets working for you guys, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting, man. I hope up until now, everything that you and I have like discussed and said, this is how it's going to go with Jeff, like in terms of this platform, like with the 420, like we knew that like it would eventually catch strong, and it did. And we just, ever since like he started recursive verse, all the way up until now, and I think like the grand, like not finale,
Daddy of them all.
Yeah, the granddaddy of them all is going to be, released whenever all the liquidity is released, and we'll see how it goes. Because I don't think the same thing's going to happen that happened to Blast. Blast lost a lot of their liquidity because people are like, shit, I don't want to mess around on here. But there's a bunch of Bitcoiners or ordinal people that have been waiting to do stuff with these assets. Exactly. They won't be able to do it with their assets on that sidechain. So
I think more assets come in when the bridge opens and everything's unlocked, because then people feel safer to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they want to be able to, there's going to be like people in the community that are like foundational people, like Block, like us, like Eric and other people that will put liquidity in for these BRC20s that might have not been in the seal. Like for Honk, for example, like we talked about this, like in closed chats, like, and people want to trade those BRC20s rather than, put them on Unisat and wait for a buyer to snipe them or whatever.
100%. 2 questions here. I'll let you answer this one first. When dealing with smart contracts on Merlin, what are some precautions we can take to avoid scams?
So first of all, definitely don't just click on random links. That is the number one thing, right? Also, I would have a test dummy wallet and just have like a little bit of BTC in there and test out a link if you want, do research on it, like see if you know anybody that has heard anything about it, or you see on your Twitter timeline, is this a legitimate project? There were projects on Merlin chain that Shizzy and I could have gotten into, Merlin Land, Merlin Box, but like we were so busy that like we didn't just freaking degen and ape in those, because we know from our experience that like it could have been a honeypot. Like Pepe was a honeypot on there, and we know someone that got go ahead.
Could you explain what a honeypot is?
Honeypot is the smart contract is set up to where you can put money in, but you can't take money out. So you can buy, but you can't sell. And so what they do is they just basically suck as much liquidity in until someone lets everybody know, hey, this is a honeypot. Then it just dies, and that person basically they shoot for as much as they can get, and then it's done.
Gotcha.
So it's definitely it's a different world than what we've been living in the past 8 to 12 months. But if you're smart and you set fail safes up for yourself by like not clicking on random links, doing research before you do, ask your friends, do you know about this project, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump to the next question here. When is the interview with Jeff for Western Community? I think we got to get Jeff back on the show. What do you think?
Yeah,
I know he's busy, but
yeah,
I think it'll be a really good update, and we can kind of get maybe these questions answered like this and stuff like that. So I think that would be something we could shoot for in the future. Shout out 1 and 2. This guy, man, if you don't know who he is, he's in the support desk. He's always helping people out, always giving great opinions, man. And he was just on a podcast the other day with Block. Did you see that? It's called like the Orange Cubicle. That was pretty cool. I liked it.
I didn't watch it. Like I heard a little bit of it, just little clips, but that's awesome. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, like 1 and 2 is like, he's like one of the best like question askers, because he'll ask like the tough questions. Yep. And then he'll like have like 2 or 3 in a row. That's perfect. So
I was a little, 1 and 2 hasn't been on Ordinal Revolution yet. I mean, Hype hasn't been on Ordinal Revolution yet. A bunch of these guys who we've known forever who would go in this orange cubicle, but haven't been on Ordinal Revolution yet. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess you guys can go join your orange cubicles because you're Ordinal Revolution isn't cool enough for it. Now,
did we ask him on though? We gotta ask him on probably.
Dude, those guys got open invitations. I'm always in there. I tell them all the time, every time I'm in there, come on the show, come on the show, come on the show.
Gotcha.
But I think they think that I'm gonna ask them for full face. I mean, obviously it's better when we get to your full face, but I've never said that that has to happen. But
gotcha. All right. Let's see. Anything else here? I think that's it. Okay. Shill hoo-hoo for a bit. Well, what does Francis say? Going hoo-hoo for
go cuckoo for hoo-hoo and the woo-hoo.
Yeah. So Francis Dune actually made t-shirts for hoo-hoo.
I see.
Yeah, he wore them at the ETH conference or whatever. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, like hoo-hoo, man, hoo-hoo's been a little bit like confusing for me, guys. Like, I'm just waiting for it to explode, but it just seems to go. It seems to get to that like 10-11 million dollar market cap, and then like Voya takes off and goes nuts, but it can't get past that $11 million market cap yet. Now, I do feel like once liquidity opens up and the M tokens are released, there's only a couple solid tokens to really put that into until they start adding liquidity to the M tokens. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens here.
Oh, it's on a little run here though.
A little bit, little runner.
Snakes.
I mean, I expect this token to get to at least if hoo-hoo doesn't get to like 40 to 50 million dollar market cap, once like the M token liquidity is released, to me, like I'm probably gonna just get out of my position because I feel like it'll be exhausted at that point. There's no, but I feel like it has all the characteristics to be one of those crazy runners. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like where all the influencers start talking about it and it starts going nuts. But we'll see.
Yeah, it definitely needs to break this right here. I think it needs to get above that 0.0007. Am I on the right token here? I'm on the wrong token here.
I was about to say, man, that does not look like my chart.
I know. I was just like, what the hell's going on here? Hold on. There we go. Okay. It's still around the same place I said it was earlier. Okay. Here we go.
Hey, shout out to Sergio with the super chat.
Yo, shout out Sergio. What do you say? You want to read it?
It says, "Are you guys invested in that D-bit called the Sats on Doge? They have the endorsement of the original Sats." So I did see. So first, Shizzy's not into Doge or Doginals or DRC20s, but I have a couple of positions over there. I did see the Sats Twitter page talk about it. I need to do more research on it though, Sergio. Right now I'm kind of not over there as much, and I don't know. I do think though. I honestly, I mean, the numbers don't lie in terms of like inscription tokens and ordinals, doginals, or whatever you want to call them. They are definitely number 2 behind Bitcoin. There's no other one that actually even comes close to competing with them. But we'll see what happens in the future.
I think it's a big trash can over there. I'm not. I mean, when 8-bit's the top dev, I'm out.
He's not the top dev.
He's the 8-bit's the top dev. He's doing BRC 420. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's dumping
BRC
tokens
420.
on every. He's doing his own BRC 420 over there. DRC 420.
Oh, he's doing DRC 420.
Yeah, dude, it's a fucking shit show over there. I'm not touching that with your money.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest,
if you're like Shizzy, here's $100. I'll give you for free. You just got to invest it in Doge. I'll tell you to keep it. Just keep it.
Yeah, but the thing about that is he's actually, even though I don't agree with a lot of stuff he does, he's actually fucking smart to do that. Because like every time whenever you go from Ethereum to like those other ETH chains, like everybody copied Phantom. They created a new tomb and they made shit tons of money on it. So yeah. I mean, in that sense, like it's smart to just duplicate what worked on Bitcoin on doginals and stuff.
The problem is he creates these tokens and then he builds something, gets high, forgets about it, and then goes builds something.
Yeah,
else.
So like his personal tokens, I'm not talking about at all. No. I'm talking about protocols though. If he replicates protocols over there, that's smart. It's smart to do it.
The problem is though, is he never finishes anything.
Well,
he never finishes anything.
That's a different story.
So he's going to start DRC 420 and just never finish it.
Okay, so that you're right, like on that, but like if that is just replicated, is my point, then it will be a success because what worked over there, they're just going to replicate. That's exactly what the Sets guy's doing. He's doing it because he knows that if he gets a large holder count, that it will do well. So Sergio, I think that if it's the same kind of setup, if the backing, I don't know, it could do well. Like I said, I need to do more research over there. And he says 8-bit is not the top dev. He thinks he is. Yeah, well, I mean, hey guys, he got accepted to, I think, Dogecoin Core, right?
I don't pay attention to 8-bit. I had to mute him. He was so fucking annoying.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Hey, Rob, man.
Goosino's in the house.
Yeah. Yo, Ra's in my DMs, bro. She wants a pass. She's I don't know. She's an OG. I don't know if we should. She's been hitting me up for like weeks about this pass, and I'm like, become a member. And she's like, it's not working for me. I've been trying for months, so I don't know.
Oh, really? So then we got to work something out then if she's been trying.
She said I keep sending her the link. She said it doesn't work for her. It works for other people though. So I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Is that it? We got anything else? I think that might be it, huh?
Yeah.
We got our Saturday morning spaces tomorrow, guys, at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure that you're joining that. It's a pretty good lineup tomorrow.
Damn! I forgot to retweet that from the main account.
Yeah, we got to put that out. We'll do that tonight. Other than that, guys, we got some like really cool news, but like we can't discuss it yet. But if you're a member,
I can't hear you. What'd you
say? We can't discuss it yet.
Okay.
but we will be discussing it in our members videos soon, and like on our public channel as well. We just gotta, make sure that we're able to do that. But it's exciting, guys, for sure.
If you're not members, we highly recommend you becoming members. And it's not token gated. I mean, it's $10. It's barely a quarter a day. Like it's nothing. But like we don't want to give this information to everybody. There's 200 people in there because it would just get too far. It would just get too far ahead. And so there's gonna be information coming into the private chat in the next eBuck. They're gonna kill me, bro. But there's gonna be some stuff going on, and yeah, just be members. That's all I can say.
Yep. And that's it. Yeah. Good live, man. I really enjoyed it.
Fun. Yeah, it was really good. I can't wait to do these every single day, dude. How great is that going to be? We
It's gonna be
like
fun.
we're gonna pop on in the morning. We'll have our morning meeting. We'll go over a bunch of like what we're gonna talk about, and we'll get in live, and then we'll forget about everything we were gonna talk about and just ramble on about
Freestyle.
the but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do them every single day. Well, Monday to
Monday,
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, so that should be so much fun, guys. We're looking really forward to that. I just got to get the hell out of my day job where I'm not. We'll see what happens, but yeah, man. Any last words, buddy?
Nope. I mean, yeah. Just make sure you guys join that space tomorrow, and that's it. Get ready, guys. This is the start of the bull market officially.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well,
retail's coming in soon.
Well, he put that red dot on there. Did you see that? The first red dot of the bull market.
Who did?
Let me show you real quick. The first red dot has been put up there. I bet my computer's running kind of slow right now. We'll get out of here in 1 second. And every single time he puts a red dot, dude, he's accurate. He's accurate.
Are you talking about Plan B?
Yeah, I showed the chart earlier, but look at this, dude. The first red dot's been put. Look, red dot bull market.
Nice.
This is the first one.
Yeah,
and it's never going blue. It's never going blue after red.
That's so crazy, guys. And for y'all that have been sticking around through the bear market, congratulations, man. It's I know it was tough. You know, people laughed at us and said, you know, crypto's just a fad. It was all going to zero. Yep. We are just starting the bull market now, but be smart because, like, you know, remember what happened last time, but we have time. But anyways, congratulations, guys. Go ahead.
Look at this though. 12. It's 12. What happens if we see 12? 700K Bitcoin.
he ain't letting go of that 700K. Hey, I hope it is, man. I hope it is, because then we're gonna be sitting very nice. Most people in here too.
Yeah, man.
But that is it for the live folks. Appreciate you guys joining us, and we will check y'all next time.
See you guys.
Peace.
Ordinal revolution. Let's go.